Kendrick Perkins is one of the more popular analysts on ESPN nowadays. He's a former basketball player, former NBA champion mind you, and TV companies value those. Add in a couple of his crazy takes and loud claims and you got yourself a TV personality. A little more than a month ago there was an ESPN segment where KP hosted an NBA draft combine for Richard Jefferson. So I thought about it and decided to look at his own NBA career. And well, when it comes to his NBA career, as he himself loves to say, you can just carry on. But still, let's just look at it. So in high school, Kendrick Perkins averaged 27.5 points, 16.4 rebounds, and 7.8 blocked shots as a senior. He was considered a 5-star recruit and committed initially to go to the University of Memphis, but later instead opted to go to the NBA straight out of high school. Was it a smart decision? Maybe. The problem is that the 2003 NBA draft was loaded with good talent. So even though Perkins was listed as the number 3 center and the number 6 player in the nation in 2003, he was drafted only as the 27th pick by the Memphis Grizzlies. Funny how life works out. Then he was immediately traded to the Boston Celtics, where the prime of his career happened. His rookie season isn't worth really talking about, since he played in only 10 games for an average of 3.5 minutes and scored 2.2 points and grabbed 1.4 rebounds. His second year, now we start talking. He was a full-blown bench warmer who played in a total of 60 games, started 3 of those, and in 9.1 minutes averaged 2.5 points and 2.9 rebounds. A good summer of training and practice, and Big Perk earned more and more playing time in the Celtics squad. In his third season, he had an unbelievable amount of double-digit point games, 11 to be exact. He rebounded the ball like a possessed man, having 13 double-digit rebound games. Seriously though, the 12-point, 19 rebound game against Philly was really good. So by his fourth year, you could sort of call him the starting center for the Boston Celtics team. He was always more of an enforcer though, and not really your high-caliber center any other team would want. Perkins sort of dwindled around the same numbers for 2 more years in Boston. In 2008, he was a part of a championship team. Perk needed to be a big contributor. For the 2008 playoffs, he averaged 6.6 points and 6.1 rebounds. Just for the 2008 finals, 4 points and 3.6 rebounds. So he showed up when needed. I mean, all they had besides him was Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Rajon Rondo, and an old Sam Cassell. Honestly though, he was doing more and more. He followed his championship season by having his best regular season yet, averaging 8.5 points and 8.1 rebounds. His 2009 playoffs, by his standards, were amazing. 11.9 points, 11.6 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. He was at the pinnacle of his career, and if you thought that the surprises ended there, oh no sir. In the 2009-10 season, for the first and only time in his career, he averaged double-digit points. Yes, that's right, 10.1 points per game. He was the 5th best scorer on the squad. The playoffs, his regular self. But in the 2010 finals, Game 6, he injured his knee, which later proved to be torn MCL and PCL ligaments. He returned to action about 6 months later, and seeing how he might not be the same machine he used to be, the Celtics decided to use his value and trade him for some assets. Alongside Nate Robinson, he was traded for Jeff Green, who ended up averaging 17 points for the Celtics, Nenad Krstić, who was a skill similar center to Perkins, cash, and 2012 first-round pick. So that was quite a haul for the Celtics. He was traded to OKC, where he had a chance to play with young, up-and-coming superstars in Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. He didn't have to do much there. He just played his role as always, averaging your 4, maybe 5 points per game, grabbing 6, 7 boards per game, and being there when the team needs some muscle in the paint. He spent a total of about 5 seasons in OKC and went to the finals once, but it was clear he was starting to slow down, at the age of 29. It wasn't a severe drop-off, but day in and day out you could see that the age and attrition is starting to get to him. In his first 8 seasons in Boston, he was averaging 6.4 points and 6.1 rebounds, right? Well, in 5 OKC seasons, those numbers dropped to 4.2 points and 5.9 rebounds respectively. The guy wasn't the same. Steven Adams started to take his place in OKC. It was time to move on. During the 2015 NBA trade deadline, Perk was traded to the Utah Jazz, who maybe paid for his dinner before waiving him 2 days later. Immediately, like just 3 days later, he was picked up by a championship contender in Cleveland Cavaliers, where he just went off. 17 games, 2.6 points and 2.4 rebounds. Whether it was a money issue or just Cleveland wanting to fill the roster with younger players, he wasn't retained by the Cavs after those 17 games. Instead, he signed with the New Orleans Pelicans, where after averaging 2.5 points and 3.5 rebounds, the talks about the reboot of Kendrick Perkins' NBA career were re-emerged. Kendrick Perkins 2.0, baby. The basketball world was awaiting the rebirth of Perk. Yet, what they got was one game with the Cavs in 2018. At the age of 33, his NBA career was over. And if my calculations are correct, he won't ever play in the NBA again. So in total, for his career, Kendrick Perkins played in 782 NBA games, started 565 of them, and averaged 5.4 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks per game. Obviously, not everything can be measured just by looking at the numbers. He never was gonna be a numbers guy in the NBA. It just wasn't his thing. He wasn't skilled enough to do that. But he still had a place in the NBA, and he did help his team. Often with centers, you want to compare them to all-time greats. Okay, well, this can be fun. Do you know Wilt Chamberlain? In his record-setting 1961-62 NBA season, he scored a total of 4,029 points in one season. In 14 seasons, Kendrick Perkins scored a total of 4,114 points. Let that sink in. Wilt Chamberlain also had 2,149 total rebounds in his second season in the league. Kendrick Perkins had a total of 4,532 rebounds for his whole career. So we know he's not Wilt Chamberlain. He probably isn't Kareem either. Hell, he might not even be Chris Kaman if you remember that dude who actually came from the same draft. So he was your sort of below average NBA player who had size, and that's why he had quite a lengthy career. In other words, carry the hell on. But what do you think about Kendrick Perkins' NBA career? How good was he at his prime, and was his prime really that good? Please leave a comment down below. If you like the video, please don't forget to like it. If you dislike it, but please subscribe either way. Thank you very much for watching. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.
Man, I still go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.